Okay, so there's some news floating around about the Marvels. And the Marvels, I just wanted to say this. Look, I don't really like, I'm not, the MCU is cool. I'm not into it like that. I guess I'm more of a DC guy. And so I like a handful of DC movies, but I do like a handful of Marvel movies. Don't get me wrong. When I watch the Marvel movies, I usually have a great time. I'm always like, it's always fun and, you laugh a lot and you have a good time. So there's nothing really I can say about that. It's just that when I watch, like Man of Steel and, the the ZS Justice League, that one. I mean, those movies they just feel different. It's kind of like the first Iron Man. First Iron Man feels way different than the rest of the MCU. Even all the way up to, I wouldn't say all the way up to, but I would say including Winter Soldier. You know, those movies just kind of hit a little different. But the Marvels, the Marvels is coming out, right? And so ever since Marvel Phase, whatever the fuck they're on now, I don't know, but ever since the last couple phases, people have been saying that the movies just fell off, you know, and they're not what they used to be, and people aren't looking forward to them as much as before, and I can kind of see that because I remember, around like the Infinity War and Endgame days. Oh, it was hot, man. Like everybody was rushing out to the theaters to see all that shit. And that's all people were talking about. So that was a different time. That was what, 5 years ago now, But today, after Multiverse of Madness and Love and Thunder and Ant Man, I don't remember the title of that one, Ant Man 3. But after those, I guess people feeling like they can't really trust the brand like that no more. So I remember when Captain Marvel came out, there was a bunch of weird stuff that was happening around that movie. They were buying tickets. Disney was buying their own tickets. They were busing people to the theaters to see the movie. Uh, they changed a bunch of rules on Rotten Tomatoes. It was like just super goofy around that time. And today, the Marvels is coming out, and we've learned a lot about Rotten Tomatoes since then. Some of us already knew something was going on, but now we know for sure. When the first movie came out, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll check it out." Brie, isn't she from Sacramento? Is she a Sac girl? So I'll support her. And I didn't even go to the movie, right? But I did watch it eventually, and it was fine. It was fine. Like I'm not Brie Larson's fine. I don't have a problem with her like that. I'm not on Brie Larson like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she said this and that. People be talking, man. People say a bunch of stupid shit, and you ain't got to feel what they saying all the time. But she seems cool. She seems all right. When she says some of that goofy feminist shit, you don't want to hear it. But if that's what she thinks and that's what she feels, then okay. But that don't take away from her possibly being a cool person. And when I see her in these interviews and people be dogging her for things she does in the interviews, I just kind of think she's being sarcastic. She's just kind of being, I don't know. I don't take her too serious. So, uh, with the Marvels though, people were already, dogging the movie before it even got started. I remember she did that little. They asked her if she was going to do a part two, and she was like, "Does anybody want me to come back?" And bro, that's so honest. That's like being so straightforward, real. It's not like she's not on the internet and she can't read. You know what I'm saying? So like she doesn't see all the shit people are saying about her. Everybody knows. So yeah, she was like, "Well, shit, do people even want to see me?" Like she's being real about it, And I'm like, that's kind of funny. So they do this movie, and then you hear along the way, oh, well, it was gonna be her movie, and then they put the other two girls in it, and it took away from it, and she got all upset, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't care about that shit. The thing is, they made the movie, and when the trailer dropped, when I saw the trailer, it made me laugh. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Now I told you I was already on board to go see the first movie, and I didn't go, but I'm on board to see this movie. Not because it's gonna like round out the MCU in some special way. No, I don't really care about that. I told you. The movie looks like it's going to be funny. And so I'm going to support it for that reason. I don't even like giving Disney my money. Not at all. But the movie looks like a fun time. And I could go for that right now. You know, it wasn't like one of the main movies on my list. I'll go over my movie list for the year and we'll get to all that in another video. But it wasn't on my list. But when I saw the trailer and it made me laugh, genuinely laugh. I've never watched Miss Marvel, but some of the stuff she did was what made me laugh. And I've considered watching the show. I've considered putting myself through that just to kind of get to know her because maybe she's cool and I just don't know. So the Marvels, I definitely want to check it out. It looks like something that's possibly going to be a good time. However, the news that's coming out right now is about how much the movie costs. And this movie costs a whole lot of money. Okay? Like they spend I asked the question on one of these social networks I'm on. Okay? I was like, yo, how is it that they're spending all this money for these movies? Now you see the credits go by. And of course, you see the credits go by because you've been watching Marvel for 15 years, and I know you've seen the credits go by. Okay? They made you sit through it. So you've seen the credits go by, and you see several hundred, couple thousand names, right? And all these people getting paid, right? But you start doing math, and it's like, okay, does it add up to all that, though? Does it really? Does it? Maybe it does. I don't know exactly how the money is distributed and how it gets divvied up between all these different departments. What I'm saying is, though, I think they launder money through these movies, man. All right. I think that they use these movies, okay? They be like, oh, this movie cost $70 billion to make. Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. We got to make back at least $190 billion to make our money back. So we're going to just, yeah, it's going to be great. Bro, okay, why the hell are you spending all this money? Because look, we talked about how movies is kind of bullshit these days compared to how they used to be. And take Indiana Jones, right? Definitive Indy is him hanging off the back of the truck, crawling back in and kicking the shit out of that German, right? And dude, and then running him over, right? And that shit, bro, probably costs like to do that whole scene, that whole truck chase. That shit probably costs less than like anything they ever did. Like going, like, bro, think about Crystal Skull. Crystal Skulls, I don't have a problem with that. Crystal Skulls and then the Dial of Destiny, they cost hella money. But Crystal Skulls didn't cost nowhere near as much as Dial of Destiny. Dial of Destiny costs hella money. Okay? Why? Why did it cost all that money? Because the shit you was doing wasn't even as fantastic as the first movie. And then you used a bunch of CGI when you used real shit before and it was cheaper to do that. Why didn't you just do that? And I can't, there's no way anybody can explain to me where all this, like how spending all this money is justified on these movies. It just don't make no sense. It seems like they really doing something else with this money, man. I can't sit here and be thinking, oh, yeah, this movie, yeah, 300 million. Sure. No, hell no. Not when I see movies that's way better than that cost like 3 times like less than that movie. You know, it's criminal. They could do this shit, you know. Drop all this money on these stupid ass movies, whack ass movies, back to back. Now I don't know if the Marvels is gonna be whack. I plan on watching it and actually trying to enjoy it. They're probably gonna be, you know, throwing a bunch of feminist shit out there that you don't want to hear. But you already had to sit through a bunch of that shit in Barbie, so you might as well sit through it in this one. If it's funny, then it's funny, and if it's not, then you'll know. So I don't know what people are playing it when it comes to the Marvels, but I think I'll check it out, see how if it makes me laugh. And yeah, that money situation, that shit probably went to Ukraine, bro. Okay? Like there's no reason for these movies to cost as much as they do. This shit is stupid. So, that's all I wanted to say, man. Everybody's talking about all the money that's being spent on the movie, and the money they ain't spent on the movie. The money fucking went to Ukraine. So you guys take it easy, man. I mean, shit, man. They got the unions, right? The unions don't do nothing but send money to Democrats and stuff, and they on strike and all that shit. Probably because all their money getting sent to Ukraine. But yeah, man. I'll holler at you guys soon. Peace.